zone.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to the 31st day of March 2025. My name is Nick. There's Big J right over there. Good morning, Big J.
Hey, man.
Welcome to the last day of March, dude.
Yeah, 31st.
How's the month of March? Let's give it a grade.
Give it a B, man.
All right, dude. Let's see if you can't keep up those good grades with your weekend grade that's coming a little bit later on this morning. What's your gut say?
Gut says I didn't do much this weekend.
How come?
But I didn't, I could have done more. So I don't know. We'll see.
I know what you did Friday because you and I hung out at Tree Fort. What did you do
It's the best part of the weekend.
Saturday and Sunday?
I did some stuff. Of course, I had to pick up at the airport.
Yeah.
But I had help with that, so we'll hear about that later. And I smoked some meat yesterday.
Okay.
So I got to do that. That was fun. Spent some time on the porch.
Got it. Just hanging out and maxing, relaxing, huh?
I did some stuff earlier in the week, just because I knew we would have a crazy weekend, a busy weekend of running around. So.
Outside of the airport debacle, were there any other running around that you needed to do?
Yeah. Yes. Not me, other people.
Okay. Oh, so your now strategy is whatever work needs to be done in front of eyes that are going to give you grades.
Absolutely.
Got it. And if the wife is gone for a weekend, that means it's time for Big J to video game it up and spend traditional weekend time.
As much as possible.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, we'll find out how accurate that is a little bit later on this hour when Kylie, Mrs. Big J, calls in and talks about Big J's weekend. Of course, we also have an opportunity for you to get in on a bunch of things. Now, today we're going to kick off Last Man Standing. That's an opportunity for you to get qualified to go check out Sonic Temple, the biggest rock festival in the United States of America in Columbus, Ohio. It's 4 days long. It is got over 110 bands. It's going to be a huge undertaking. And we're going to send somebody out with a guest to go check that out on us. And that's happening, by the way, in May. So it's coming up quick. And you'll have an opportunity to get qualified to join us at Barbarian Brewing on April 28th when we give away this prize. We're very excited about that. And, of course, we also have Inflation Domination continuing, Big J, as we continue to give away over $2,000 every single weekday, dude.
Yeah.
So you'll have an opportunity to get qualified for that with your first keyword a little bit after 9 o'clock this morning. So 7:30 is Last Man Standing, and then a little after 9 is Inflation Domination. We have tickets to Machine Head. We have tickets to Under Oath. Both of them are in town this very week. So there's a lot of awesomeness happening at the Rev Center. Plus, we have the usual fun, which is We're Going to Hell and headlines and important stuff and all of that. So should be a solid show. That's what we're gunning for. Hold us to it, everybody. We're kicking things off with some Green Day. It's Longview here on the morning after with Nick and Big J on the X.
Stuff. On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Big J, you wouldn't know it by looking around at local news sites here in the Treasure Valley. I looked at all of them trying to find a story on this, but none of them had it. But today's a pretty big day for Boise State Broncos men's basketball team, as they are kicking off the inaugural college basketball crown tonight in Las Vegas, as their postseason kind of kicks off going up against a 21-12 George Washington team that had some offense that was clicking down the stretch in the season for them. So one of these two teams, George Washington or Boise State, are going to battle it out in the next round of the college basketball crown as the opening round of the action kind of gets underway. So your men's team for the Broncos are in Las Vegas getting ready to play tonight. Now, while George Washington may seem like somebody that might be a little bit passed over, but man, they've been averaging about 88 points a game and a 7-point margin of victory average over their last 10 games. So they kind of got hot down the stretch, but not enough to get some attention from the committee. And so Boise State probably should have got in over Colorado State, in my opinion, but Colorado State's the only one that from the Mountain West that actually went on a run. So who knows what's going on with the Mount West. But we got ourselves a pretty interesting matchup. Now, we got ourselves something that could go down if maybe there are some people that are going to Vegas. The MGM Grand Garden Arena is where this thing is happening. It's going to tip off around 3:30 this afternoon, Boise time. If you have Fox Sports 1, that's where you're going to be able to find the game. If you have, of course, it doesn't really stream anywhere unless you got Fubo or like Hulu Live or something like that. That's where you can find Fox Sports 1 on a streaming platform. But we should see what ends up happening. But this should be a pretty high-scoring and entertaining offensive game. It's what Las Vegas is expecting. And so we will see what goes down. And then, of course, we will see where they go and if they continue on, because there's I believe it's like $500,000 in NIL money that goes to the winner of this tournament. So there's a lot of money on the line here, too.
Yeah.
As well as a big old trophy. Big J, predictions for tonight's George Washington, Boise State Broncos game.
Let's go George Washington by 5.
Whoa, what the hell? You don't have the belief in the men's basketball team?
I don't
think
think there'd be a lot of scoring going on.
Yeah, you don't think they can score? The Broncos can score, too.
All right, let's see it.
Well, no,
Listen, they need to win at some point in the postseason of the college basketball season.
I see. So you're like, I'll believe they can win in the postseason when I see it.
Yeah.
And as of now, I haven't seen it, so I'm voting for the other guys.
Yes.
I understand. I get it. Hopefully, the men's basketball team uses Big J's lack of confidence as a chip on their shoulder.
Prove me wrong.
We will see how it all shakes down on Fox Sports 1 this very evening. Or this afternoon, I suppose. Big J, looks like Coach Prime is going to be sticking around the University of Colorado. He signed a 5-year, $54 million contract to continue on as their head coach. The $10.8 million per year makes Deion Sanders one of the highest paid coaches in college football, and it takes a bit of steam out of the idea that he's just waiting for a chance to jump from the college to the pros. But as we all know, contract extensions mean absolute squat when it comes to being elevated to the NFL from the college team, or really taking any other job. Let's be perfectly honest. It means nothing, as if the other team wants you enough, they'll help with the buyout clause, which I'm sure is a part of that whole deal as well. Big J, I'll let you give a quick congratulations to Jason Statham.
Congratulations, working man.
Number one movie in America, believe it or not. It ended up topping off Snow White in its second weekend in release. Now, wasn't a huge weekend at the box office by any stretch of the imagination, but $15 million enough to take number one at the box office. With A Working Man, Snow White number 2, about $1 million behind it. The Chosen, Last Supper comes in third. And then Woman in the Yard, the horror movie that came out this week, comes in fourth. And then Death of the Unicorn, nobody cared about, Big J. Pops in at about $5 million on the opening weekend. So that's what the weekend box office looks like. I'm trying to think, you think Minecraft is going to be a huge money-making film?
Like I said, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. It opens
at least
up
better
next week.
than these numbers.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to beat. Let's be honest. I mean, do you think it'd be better than Snow White's opening weekend of $42 million?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we'll see. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X-Rocks. Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, Americans sure do like to fantasize, you know?
Yeah, we love it.
Found out via a recent Talker research poll that not only do we like watching shows that are popular culture because they just kind of let us escape from whatever kind of nightmarish reality we are stuck in at the particular moment, but also, Big J, it's because we like to see ourselves in the place where they are. Apparently, 48% of Americans say that they enjoy TV shows where they can see themselves living in that situation instead of the situation that they're currently in, specifically when it comes to the houses that the characters live in. Now, it may not take you very long to get there, but do you know the number one pop culture house that people would like to live in if they were given the opportunity?
Full House.
Yes, that is number one, but it's not like huge. I mean, there's a lot of balance in this survey. It's 13%, but 13% is good enough to be number one. Number two, Big J, is more of an apartment than a house. That could help you maybe get there.
Yeah, friend's house, friend's apartment.
Which one, though?
Rachel's I'm going to get. Or no, Monica's.
No, wasn't that one the same? Didn't they live
I guess,
together?
yeah, you're right.
And then 6% picked a house that came in third that was fully animated. The Simpsons family home on Evergreen Terrace came in third place. So I ask you, Big J, the same question the survey posed people. If there was a fictional house you could live in, which one would you pick?
I'm going to go with John Wick's before it burned down.
Pretty nice house, right?
Yeah. Or I'd pick like Sean McVay's house from when they did the draft a few years ago.
That's a real house. You can't. That's not a pop culture house.
What?
The pop culture house. That has nothing to do with
That was pop culture for that. I mean, it was a big deal.
I'm guessing any sports figure you select has a pretty nice house that they live in currently. Of that, I leave no doubt about it. But whatever, the interesting thing is here, too, as well, the more advanced in age you get, the less likely you care about these kind of things. So, like, the 20 and 30-year-olds, all about it. You hit 40, 50, 60, they're like, what are you talking about? Living in pop culture. I just want to live in my house and pay my house payments. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And so there is that as you get older. So enjoy this fun, whimsical kind of thought that you have now, because in like 15 years, you're going to hate everything about pop culture and not understand anything and how it works. And that's going to anger you.
Back in my day, we were cool.
That's right. You'll talk about how cool Sean McVay's house was, and everybody be like, who? Morning After with
Nick
Nick and Big
nobody
J.
will forget him.
Yeah, well, who won the Super Bowl 15 years ago as head coach?
Bill Walsh.
Nope.
Yep.
No, that was much longer than 15 years ago.
Damn.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, there's your
Bill
pop
Belichick.
culture update. We got ourselves a little bit of checking in with Mrs. Big J for his weekend grade. That's next on the X.
Here's Track.
That's Metallica, Enter Sandman here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Earlier in the show, we heard Big J's version of what his weekend was like. But now it's time to get the real story as we welcome on every Monday morning Big J's wife, Kylie, to talk about what happened on Big J's weekend and to give him a grade and talk about all that stuff. Good morning, Kylie. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Thank you for getting up early and joining us on the show. Now, Kylie, on Friday, Big J spent a big bulk of it talking about how he had a big ordeal at the Boise airport on Saturday to pick up his nephew and sign a bunch of papers and go all over God's green earth. How did it go on Saturday? Did you need to help him? How did it happen?
Well, I ended up going with him. I mean, he was complaining, and I'm like, it's not this hard. I think me telling him where to park in the parking lot upset him more than picking up Declan. So is that correct? Wouldn't you say that he was more irritated? He's like, do you want to drive? And I'm like, no, but maybe go this way because we have to come out with his baggage. You know,
Listen,
I'm
every
trying to
man
figure out
knows
the
exactly
situation.
what you're talking about, and they're just shaking their head.
Yes. But yeah, it wasn't bad at all. We were in there. We went right through. He was trying to say that if I wasn't with him, that it would have been a lot harder. I don't necessarily believe that.
Yes, you used tricks of your trade that you weren't or had not mentioned to me would be available as we were going there. You're like, oh, this is a great idea. Let's do this. And by the way, I wasn't complaining about this necessarily as much as the kids were telling me the hassle that I was having to go through, in particular Maddie, about having to go pick up Declan, with having to be there early and all the paperwork. And then as it turns out, Declan's mom didn't really register him as an unassisted person. So he just walked off the plane. But that was nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
None of that was relayed to me before when I was told to go do this.
Right. So it wasn't nearly as big of a pain as you thought it was going to be.
Well, yeah, because she was with me.
Beautiful.
It all worked out. It's like having the engineer call you and everything magically is fixed.
Got it.
Same thing.
From your end, Kylie, did it go off without a hitch then, as far as Big J is concerned? Beautiful. How about the rest of his weekend?
Two things. One, I left to go to the store, and I was coming home, and I was getting ready to pull in the driveway, and Declan was with me. And I noticed over on the side yard, it looks like I see a stumble crash maybe. Like he's walking around the corner of the house. I'm like, oh, no. So I kind of don't pull in the driveway. I keep driving forward so I could look to see if he fell, if we need to like get out and help him. But he wasn't. So then I backed up. Mason came out. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, your dad almost went tumbling over again, just making sure he's okay. So no injuries. So he gets a little bump in his grade just for not being injured anytime he almost falls.
Oh, is it true? Did you almost see
yes,
bleep in the
yes.
video?
And I'm like, oh, thank God no one was around to see that.
What happened?
No, there was just a
bunch of papers in the way.
No, there was. Eventually, I ended up put this together. It's what is it, babe? It's a
raised garden bed.
Yeah, it's a raised garden bed
metal.
that you have to put it together.
Got it.
And I didn't see part of it because I wasn't looking below my belly, and so I started to trip. Almost hyperextended my knee, but that thing's like a rubber band now.
Thank God everybody's okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. What else did you want to point out, Kylie?
he used to tell the kids if they asked him anything, how to do something, he'd like Google it, look it up. Well, this weekend he goes, "Hey, how do I change the wallpaper on my iPhone?" Because we're getting a lot of iPhone questions from him, and he thinks that because we're all iPhone users, we should answer him. And I go, "Oh, let me see your phone." I changed his wallpaper to you, and I handed it back to him, and I'm like, "You should Google the answer." And I mean,
Listen, I'll
and then
put
I showed
this
him
SIM
how.
card back in my Google phone right now.
But you laughed. It was hilarious.
Yes,
you had Nick's
but
photo. Yeah.
Listen, for years they've been begging me to switch over.
Yeah.
And the moment I ask for a little bit of help, I don't know what the hell. These are completely different.
Sure.
She's like, "Why don't you look it up?"
Well, you got to taste your own medicine.
Yeah, that's a completely different argument.
It
Completely.
was funny, though.
It was funny. I think that's funny. For the record, I think that's
Listen,
absolutely
you both
hilarious.
can go to hell.
And so, Kylie, we ask you every Monday, what was Big J's weekend grade this weekend?
C+.
All right. Hey, listen, we're good. You're starting to get straight C's in this segment, Big J.
Yeah, suck it, everybody.
You might have to step it up a notch
Including everybody involved with this.
if you want to get your grade point average up a little bit. But Kylie, as always, we thank you for getting up early and taking your husband to task on the radio. It's always a good time. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you next week. All right.
Bye.
Yeah, maybe
Bye,
we'll
Kylie.
talk next week.
I get a feeling this does more harm than good sometimes. Morning
You're
after
ruining our life.
with Nick and Big J. Important stuff is next on the X Rocks.
Stuff
Don's newsfeed.
on the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff is brought to you by Inflation Domination. It's coming up a little bit after 9 o'clock. Your first opportunity this very day and this week to get qualified for our daily giveaway of $2,025. It's brought to you by Dollar Loan Center, Dennis Dillon Auto Group, and the Advocates Injury Attorneys. And we want you to win some cold, hard cash just by listening. So our advice would be tune in around 9 o'clock today. That's your first opportunity to text in a keyword. Doesn't matter if you've played before. It's a new game. It's a new setup every single day. You don't have to have played before in order to get in on the fun. You spelled that word correctly. You text it to us. You are qualified. We give you 4 opportunities a day to get qualified. That means your name could be in the hopper up to 4 times for our daily drawing. So it does pay to pay attention. Those keywords come at 9, 11, 1, and 3. Text in, and quite possibly we would be calling you around 9 o'clock this morning and letting you know that you could be the next winner of $2,000 courtesy of the X. If you need more information and rules, check out xrock.com, but Inflation Domination continues this week, Big J.
Love it.
So tune in and win and get on the Inflation Domination train. Not a day goes by where Big J doesn't talk about these, but maybe he's not as informed as he would like to be. Prince Charles talks about it all the time. Gwyneth Paltrow talks about it all the time. Big J, I'm talking about your prized coffee enemas. And they talk about how they're an alternative treatment and maybe clear toxins out of your body. But I'm telling you right now, Big J, DIY enemas for your gut, usually self-cleaning, is not really the way to go.
Oh. Damn it.
You probably just need to increase your
Stupid health blogs I follow.
I know you're a big believer in Gwyneth Paltrow and her health movement. But Goop doesn't know everything.
I've been gooped.
Yes, you have. Apparently, just kind of, going to the bathroom a little bit more is a better way to get rid of the stuff that's going on in your gut than actually putting coffee up there, wouldn't you know it? In order to improve digestive health, high fiber, rich in fruits and vegetables, always recommended. In fact, drinking coffee is about 150% better for you to go to the bathroom than giving yourself a coffee enema, in case you're curious.
I'll stick with that then.
And once again, the doctors are saying it's always, nice that social media or whatever you're following on TikTok can give you some advice, but it's always good to remind you and check on who is giving you that information. And making sure that just because you see it in a video doesn't necessarily make it gospel.
Uh-huh. Is this person accredited somewhere, anywhere?
Check with your specific doctor or your specialist before embarking on any alternative or complementary therapies that you see online, because it may not work for you or your body type. And who knows, you may have a weird reaction to giving yourself a coffee enema, Big J. Did you ever have one?
No.
Well, good. That's positive. But
Never
the rest
had
of
that
you
enema thing.
Big J, are the New York Yankees cheating?
Probably. They're weird bats now.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the hype over the weekend because it all started on Saturday when they went nuts on the Milwaukee Brewers, hitting 9 home runs, 4 of them in the first inning, 4 off the first 4 pitches, and then hit 4 more yesterday in another beatdown.
Save those for the World Series, guys.
And it's all thanks to a new type of bat that they're using. Now, the bat was designed by the Yankees front office along with the help of MIT. And they call them torpedo or bowling pin bats because if you take a look, they really don't look like bats at all. They're truly misshapen in the middle with a really thin barrel and a really thin end.
How is that? Isn't there certain specifications that you have to have?
It's about length and weight, not necessarily design, which is why they're kind of getting away with it at this particular point. But, I mean, the interesting thing is if you look at just a picture, I mean, I would say they don't even look like baseball bats. That's what makes it so off-putting to me. Now, they designed these because when the Yankees hitting coaches were looking at footage of where the Yankees were hitting the ball last year, they noticed when they were missing on the lower part of the bat, kind of by their hands. And they're like, man, if there was more wood there, they're a little bit late on their swing, they would crush these balls. And so they designed these things. Yes. They designed these things so that, yes, if they swung the way they were swinging, there would be more contact on the ball with the bat. And so this design is definitely weird looking, but at least as far as the rule book is considered, they're totally legal. So we'll see what ends up happening. It is in the early going, and who knows? I mean that may mean
that's no coincidence.
Of course not. Of course not. And they're working the system, but I mean, at some point, like, what are we talking about? I mean, if your baseball bat no longer looks like a baseball bat, I mean, what game
like
are we playing?
Stick.
Yeah, towards the bottom. It kind of, but like in the middle, it's really weird looking the way some of these bats are put together. But as far as the rule book is concerned, they are legal. But I don't think anybody ever thought that they would take it to this extreme. So now we will see how it works. Of course, who knows? Teams may catch on. It's early going. Usually that's the way things go when they change it and then they figure it out when they're like, fine, we'll just start pitching and trying to hit the outside of the strike zone where the bat is incredibly thin and whatever. Who knows? But we will see how this goes. It does look a little bit suspect, considering the advantage that listen, their ballpark already is the size of your backyard. It's pretty easy to hit dingers out of Yankee Stadium. They designed that specifically that way. And then they've got the bats on top of it, so who knows what even is going on in baseball anymore. But hey, chicks dig the long ball. Remember those commercials?
I mean, hey, I'm glad to see the home runs back.
There you
Let's
go.
do it. And without PEDs.
Well, who knows?
Yes.
They could also be juicing up, which is also your second favorite thing that baseball does.
It's like home runs, man.
Big J, you may not know who he is, but maybe you've seen his work. Rest in peace, and may a flock of angels sing thee to thy rest for Australian martial artist and actor Richard Norton. Now, he definitely has got some other titles underneath him, but he's probably most known for having done a ton of stunts in the Mad Max movies, Big J. He passed away on Friday at the age of 75. He co-created the Zendokai martial art and contributed to films like The Octagon, Mad Max, all of the Mad Max movies, save the last one because he was a little bit too old. But the last movie he was a part of was Mad Max Fury Road, which had some of the best stunt work we've ever seen, full stop. And so he was a big part of the organizing that and making sure everything went off without a hitch. So certainly one of the legends in stunt work. Richard Norton passing away at the age of 75. Big J, I'll let you eulogize him.
Yeah. One last fall into heaven, sir. Rest in peace.
Fall into heaven?
Right.
Is that how that works?
I don't know him personally, so I don't know if he's in hell or heaven.
Got it. You don't want to assume.
Right.
So you'll play both cards?
I wanted to say something other than rest in peace. You forced my hand, and look how stupid it sounded.
You could have just said rest in peace. It would have worked just fine.
Then you mock me for saying, oh, that's all you got to say?
Sometimes you can't win, buddy.
After you did the entire thing?
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. Last band standing. Your first chance to qualify for Sonic Temple next on the X.
Last band standing. To get qualified for a trip for two to Sonic Temple. Presented by Axio Auto.
AxioAuto.com.
On 100.3, The X rocks.
All right, here it comes. Your first opportunity to get qualified for a trip for two to Sonic Temple on us. We'll take care of your airfare. We'll take care of your lodging. We'll take care of your 4-day passes to Sonic Temple, the biggest rock festival in the country happening in May in Ohio. All you have to do is get qualified. If you get qualified, you're invited to join us at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City on April 28th. That's when we're going to give away the big prize. Everybody's going to come out. We're going to have a couple of adult beverages and some good times and give away some pretty cool prizes, including the grand prize, which is a trip to Columbus, Ohio on us. If you'd like to play, 208-287-1003. Big J's going to read you a multiple choice question revolving around some of the bands playing at Sonic Temple. If you get it correct, you are qualified. If you get it wrong, we move on until somebody does get it correct, so we find ourselves a qualifier. Is it clear, Big J?
Yeah, it's clear.
Do you have the question, Big J?
I do, man. I have the question.
We have everything we need to execute this first opportunity to get qualified.
More importantly, I have the answer.
208-287-1003 is the number you need to call if you'd like to play. Let's get ourselves a contestant. Hello, the X.
Hey, folks, it's me,
All right, brother. What's your name?
Justin.
All right, Justin, you're up first. Justin, Big J's going to give you a multiple choice question. Get it right and you're qualified. You ready?
Rock and roll.
This Sonic Temple band once guest starred on their own episode of South Park. Is it Hollywood Undead, Korn, or Gwar? Which is the last band standing?
I wish it was Guara, but I hope it's Corn.
Korn is the right answer.
Justin, congratulations. You are our first qualifier for Last Band Standing. Well played, sir. Hang on just 1 second. We will make sure that you're good to go there. And yes, Korn was on an episode of South Park, the first season, for crying out loud.
Korn's Groovy Pirate Ghost Mystery. It's the 10th aired episode and the 12th produced episode of the third season of the animated television series South Park. And so it originally aired on October 27th, 1999.
And that came in handy for Justin, who nailed that absolute question. 2 more chances today to qualify. One coming your way at 12:30, the next at 5:10 with Adam. So continue to listen to get yourself qualified so that you can join us at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City and get yourself qualified for Last Band Standing in Sonic Temple. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We're going to go to hell. It's next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic inside the TDS Fiber Traffic Center on 100.3 The X.
Things went from bad to worse on 84 eastbound. The slowdown starts at around Karcher Road, and then it is stop and go all the way through Eagle Road, where there is still an accident being worked on, past the ramp to get onto 84 eastbound. Then things start to clear up right around 5 Mile, and then it's pretty good through the Y, and then 184 into downtown looks great. Get internet that's light years ahead of cable with speeds up to 8 gig from TDS. Lock in your best deal and visit tdsfiber.com.
For tank and tankless water heaters, for clogged drains, for leaky faucets, for toilets that won't flush, stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is your trusted source to solve all your plumbing needs. 208-593-3268 or beaconplumbing.com.
Carl's Jr.'s new snack stash was made for Munchie Madness. Mix and match any 3 sides, just $5.99. Get onion rings, waffle fries, and jalapeno popper bites. Natural cut fries, fried zucchini, and why not another fried zucchini? Get any 3 sides in your snack stash, just $5.99. Only at Carl's Jr. My rewards members get a snack stash free with any new triple burger purchase in the app. Munch responsibly. Only for My Rewards members for a limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
Summer's coming, and so are the home improvement projects, vacation plans, and probably a few other unexpected expenses. Get ahead of the heat with a cool home equity line of credit from Golden West Credit Union. Right now, enjoy a fixed 4.77% APR for 6 months. It's a smart way to make the updates you need or consolidate debt with confidence without breaking a sweat. Apply at gwcu.org. Golden West Credit Union. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 440574.
We'll take care of you.
This spring, enjoy winter fun without the winter weather. Escape to the mountains of Sun Valley Resort for bluebird skies, patio après, and great deals on resort lodging for Idaho residents. New this season, enjoy 3 days of skiing for just $76 each day with the Spring 3-Pack. Your spring adventure awaits at Sun Valley, just over 2 hours from nearby Boise. Book today at sunvalley.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
With the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
That are incredibly
up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Rotten hell, you worthless maggot!
The morning after with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X rocks.
Not too far away for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J. Portland, Oregon is where we're heading. And it sounds like we're going to need Detective Big J on the case.
All right, I'm on the case.
Because we have a situation, Big J. There is a man living in Portland, Oregon that has started to ask some questions since September, and he wants to know some answers, Big J.
Why do I live here?
Who the hell keeps putting gallons and gallons of human urine in my recycling bin? And why? Why is this happening?
Legitimate question to ask.
Alex Van Doon said the problem started back in September when he noticed that the recycling just plain wasn't being collected on his block. So he's like, what the hell? So he opens the blue bin. Lo and behold, there was a nice deposit of gallon-sized bottles of urine. And apparently, there were about 6 of them. Now, I don't know about you, Big J, but that's a lot of pee.
Yeah, man. What the hell is there like some sort of reconnaissance going on across the street? Stakeout?
The recycling hauler refused to take the bin's contents because, well, you know as well as I do, Big J, urine is a biohazard.
Yeah.
But if it had been placed in the garbage can, no problem whatsoever. But it was in the recycling bin, and so that became a problem. So the mystery man didn't stop. Every time recycling came, he noticed 3-4 additional gallons of urine in his recycling bin. And Alex is like, what the hell? So he stopped putting his bins out to the curb altogether. He was just like, I am done recycling until this is figured out.
Enough.
Hoping the man would quit. But when he put his recycling bins inside of his garage, Big J, guess what happened next?
No. It wound up with urine inside it, even inside of his garage?
No.
Oh, darn. I was going to be like, that's like a mystery.
No,
that
yeah, that's like a Scooby-Doo mystery.
You'd have to call in Benoit
Blanc.
Benoit Blanc to figure this out.
When he moved his recycling bins inside, all of a sudden, his neighbor's recycling bins started becoming the place where these gallons upon gallons of human urine would show up.
Thank God.
Now, Alex is like, I don't know why he's hitting the same location so many times. Doesn't make any sense to me and why he's doing it. So, of course, Big J, cameras are put up, right?
There's got to be cameras around anyway, somewhere around there.
There's surveillance footage of the man showing up to his house. He's pulling up in a car, so he doesn't live in the neighborhood. He's not walking with these things. And they see a gentleman that's clearly wearing like some sort of like hood, and so his face is covered. You can't see, and he's putting something over his license plate, so you can't see what it is. So he knows he's being watched as well. And the videos don't really have fantastic footage of anything that could really identify this guy, but this person is apparently urinating in gallons worth of bottles, driving to somebody's location, and then dropping them off specifically in recycling bins, not in garbage cans, and they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. So the ordeal has been shared on the Nextdoor app. Neighbors have flooded with theories, but nobody has any kind of real reason why this is happening. A police report has been filed, and so they're trying to find a way to get better footage of this particular person, but they think that somebody knows that they are being videoed, and so they're going out of their way to actually prevent them from being identified. But the main thing that Alex is concerned about is it's a lot of pee, and he doesn't know how this person is producing this much urine on a fairly regular basis. I mean, listen, I guess, I don't even know. I haven't really stopped to think about it. If you had to urinate in a container, how quickly you would fill up gallon jugs?
Because that's not, we don't have to worry about that. This is modern society. We have bathrooms and, usually.
But I'm trying to wrap around it. Like, if in a week, how many gallons could I fill up? I don't know if it's that many. But he's knocking it out, man. I mean, I credit to his bladder, I suppose.
Or you're just assuming it's one person.
You're right. Also, I guess there could be a whole urine collecting club for all I know. You're
or it
absolutely
could be
correct.
like a family and their bathroom doesn't work.
So, Detective Big J, what's the answer? You're on the case now. You're locked in.
I'm not. Nobody sent me any emails officially asking me to take part.
You verbally agreed at the beginning of this thing.
Just hunt this people down. Hunt this guy down.
I'm more interested in the reason than anything else.
But we got to find the person first.
I know. But the mystery is on in Portland, Oregon. So if you know of somebody urinating in gallons worth of bottles and then dumping them in recycling bins, please tell them to stop.
Welcome to Portlandia.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X Rocks.
Here's traffic inside the TDS Fiber Traffic Center.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Big J, I could be wrong here, but I do believe you are on the record as saying that fasting probably not the best thing for you to do if you're looking for a weight loss method. Is that right? Or do you not have any experience in that?
I don't necessarily have anything against intermittent fasting.
Oh, it was like a juice-only diet that you didn't like, right?
Oh, yeah. That's a terrible idea. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah, so forgive me. I was confusing the two. That is on
Unless
me.
your doctor orchestrates it for some purpose.
If you have used intermediate fasting as a weight loss tool, it has been touted that way, but a new study suggests that that particular diet could also do something else, and that is improve your sex drive, Big J.
What?
A study from Germany found that intermediate fasting boosted sexual behavior in men specifically. This could be because if you fast, it helps prevent serotonin release, which results in less sexual inhibition, Big J. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
So while this study was done mostly with dudes, there are some pathways that involve some function similarity between men and women as well, but for men, that could mean that fasting for a portion of the day could result in increased libido. So what do you say, Big J? Want to give it a shot? Want to do a little bit of
no
field research?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah? All you have to do is not eat, buddy, and then see if all of a sudden you get real horned up and go from there.
I'm so hungry!
I'm not sure if anybody needs that kind of side effect, but I guess, I don't know, maybe it could come in handy for you if you're struggling to get there. But something to keep in mind if you're looking to lose some weight and increase your libido. One thing could do both. Big J, I am ready for your explanation as to what the hell the Memphis Grizzlies are doing.
Okay.
They made a pretty surprise move. They fired their head coach with 8 games left in the regular season. Now, Taylor Jenkins has led the team for 6 seasons. He's got them currently sitting in 5th place in the Western Conference. They'd have to completely collapse if they want to slide into the play-in tournament, which it didn't look like they were doing. He is the winningest coach in Grizzlies history. So what the hell are the Memphis Grizzlies firing a coach that has got them primed for playoff position for, Big J?
I have no idea.
With no details as to what, maybe there's something going on behind the scenes, but if there are, nothing has leaked out, which is incredibly rare to do as well.
Very rare.
The last time this happened was the Celtics fired their head coach halfway through that was doing pretty good, but it turned out he had like 18 sexual harassment lawsuits going against him, and so that was a different thing altogether. So now, assistant coach Tumas Asalo has been named the interim head coach and is expected to lead the team for the rest of the season, but it is an interesting move made by the Grizzlies, who I'm not sure anybody thinks are world beaters, but listen, the Western Conference is a tough conference to be really good in. They're sitting at 5th place. They're out of the play-in game. That feels like that should be everything you want out of a team in the regular season, especially considering nobody plays that hard until the playoffs start anyway, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. And Taylor's not talking. So we'll see what ends up happening there in Memphis and why that decision has been made. Big J, Netflix has ordered a pilot for a sequel series to A Different World. Do you remember that show from the 80s and 90s?
A Different World.
Yes. Jasmine Guy was kind of a spin-off of The Cosby Show, Lisa Bonet's college years, if you will.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a little bit. I don't think I was like a regular watcher of it.
The show is set to start filming in the summer to gauge cast chemistry and the show's tone. The streaming giant typically skips kind of traditional pilot seasons, going for straight-to-series orders, but this move could impact the industry's pilot season dynamics with fewer pilots in the works, so we will see. So yeah, again, Netflix doesn't really do let's make one episode and see how it works. They do, let's order one season and see if it sticks, and then go from there. This is the first time they've really only done one episode of a particular show to see if they like that style. So Netflix could be changing up their programming philosophy as well, which would be interesting considering the streaming giant has traditionally just thrown money upon money upon money at particular shows and then, sometimes does cancel them after one season, although traditionally it's 3, no matter how good or bad it does, unless it's a phenomenon. You're hard-pressed to get more than 3 seasons at Netflix. But it is pretty interesting to see this thing happen in a pilot form.
Damn.
So, I don't know. Remember when Amazon did pilots for a while where they had just one episode up and then you would vote on which one they should bring the series?
Well, that's how, Van Johnson came out, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And that episode was so damn good.
And the series was not.
And the series sucked. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was a bummer. It was like a Saturday Night Live skit where it's great for 10 minutes and you're totally into it, and then when it's a movie you're like, ooh,
I just think they shot all their stuff on that first episode, and then it just there was nothing there.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is if a lot of people stream the pilot they'll order more, or if they're just going to kind of show it only for executives and see how this goes and then go from there. But you're going to get a pilot of one particular series for Netflix. Morning After with Nick and Big J. That's your important stuff. Your pop culture smackdown is next on the X.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
A huge Morning After prize package here this morning. We got tickets galore for you. Couple shows this week. In fact, tomorrow night at the Rev Center, Machine Head will drop by. You should be there and see them. They are pretty damn fantastic. So that show's tomorrow at the Rev. Then Wednesday, Nick, is Under Oath coming to town. We love Under Oath, and they're going to have a show there at the Rev Center as well. They're coming in for an X session, so you win tickets to both of these shows plus X session passes. But we're not done, man. No, because coming here later this summer is the band Lynyrd Skynyrd. They're coming to the Boise Open. Of course, we talked to the Boise Open folks here, Albertson's Boise Open folks, not that long ago. So we're going to hook that up as well. Lynyrd Skynyrd. And tickets to Machine Head and Under Oath and the X Session passes. All this if you beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown. My goodness.
Of course, the Lynyrd Skynyrd tickets also get you into the Boise Open that day, too. So it's golfing, rock, X Session, acoustic awesomeness, meeting Under Oath, concerts twice this week. I mean, my God, you're right. This is a big prize package.
This is a big one.
All of this. And get your tail on the phone. 208-287-1003. That's the number you need to call if you want to play Bad Impressions, not Bad Impressions, but Pop Culture Smackdown. You'll probably win it with one question today. Hello, the X.
Yeah, that's a spirit, Nick.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Champ.
All right, Champ, you're up first.
This show is hosted by Steve Harvey. The goal is to guess the answers to a survey question asked to 100 people to win points for their team. What show is it?
Family Feud.
Family Feud is right. Nick, who hosts the Discovery Channel, or I should say, who hosted the Discovery Channel's Dirty Jobs?
That's Mike Rowe.
There you go. You got one right, man. I'm so proud of you.
Former guest in the morning.
Owen Wilson and this actor starred alongside one another crashing weddings in The Wedding Crashers.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn is correct. Nick, before Lady Gaga even hit it big with her musical career, she was in the acting game, and her first big role happened on this pivotal drama on HBO.
She had a small role on The Sopranos.
That's right. Look at you go. And this former vice president is often jokingly referred to as the person who invented the internet. Was it Dan Quayle, Al Gore, or Dick Cheney?
Al Gore.
Al Gore is 100% correct. Nick, what was the name of the documentary that nabbed Al Gore an Academy Award?
An Inconvenient Truth.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
It's not?
Inherit. Oh, hold on just a second. Let me look, just to make sure.
I'm almost positive I'm correct.
You're almost positive?
Yes. An Inconvenient Truth is the documentary he was in about global warming.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Right. I had the
I
wrong
know
word.
I am.
I wonder why that is. Right, because you're looking at the answers.
No, I saw the movie. But
What
go ahead.
TV show on Amazon depicts a retired military police officer solving crimes, including his own brother's death, and stars Alan Ritchson?
Reacher.
There you go.
Right.
Nick, in the Netflix series The Witcher, where does Geralt hail from?
Rivia?
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
So are you happy? You got all the questions right.
I guess so. Congratulations, man. You ran Big J out of questions today, and you got yourself...
No, you ran me out of questions.
Whole prize package is coming your way, my friend. You got tickets to Machine Head, tickets to Under Oath. You can meet Under Oath at the X session if you'd like on Wednesday. You also have tickets in the Boise Open and Leonard Skinner. And hold on one second, and we will make sure that you are all set and ready to go for that huge prize package. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Headlines are next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic inside the TDS.
News you can barely use. It's headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Thank you. Headlines are as follows, Big J. Hey, take it easy. That's teamwork and nerd stuff.
Nerd stuff.
A man has landed himself in deep trouble down under for allegedly violating Australia's nuclear proliferation laws. And he's not some kind of criminal mastermind or anything like that. He's just a science nerd. 24-year-old Emmanuel Lydon was arrested at his parents' house in Sydney after authorities discovered he tried to buy plutonium online, Big J.
Oh, no, he can't do that.
He has pleaded guilty to
Doc Brown or something?
Breaching laws and faces up to 10 years in prison, but his lawyer's arguing that he's not a Dr. Evil type trying to take over the world. He's just a science nerd who is trying to collect every single element on the periodic table. He says he does not import or possess items with any sinister attempt, and searching the property has actually proven that there was no plans for anything. He literally had a life-sized kind of wall full of periodic table elements, and that's one of them, and he wanted to add to it. And he was trying he was trying to collect these things. And so he wasn't doing anything nefarious. He didn't know he was violating any laws. He understands now that he can't collect that particular element, but still he will be sentenced on April 11th.
He's trying to copy Bill Gates. So Bill Gates has this. Like an actual periodic table.
Okay.
That's got all of the elements in it.
And he has plutonium?
That part I don't know, but I would assume that if anybody were to have that, it would be Bill Gates.
Okay.
Would have a little bit of plutonium.
Now, Australian rules and judges are different than here, but you want to do a quick Judge Big J? Do you absolve him of his crimes?
Throw him on the bobby.
All right.
He's a dunna.
Okay. So, death penalty for this guy is what we're saying, right?
Yep.
Okay. Take it easy, or that's teamwork?
That's teamwork.
The new zoo and adventure park in Wisconsin almost recaptured a pair of escaped otters, but they dodged a trap thanks to a raccoon. North American river otters Louie and Ophelia escaped during a storm on March 20th, but attempts to recover them have been thwarted time and time again. Turns out that raccoons have impeded some of their efforts, even setting off one trap long before an otter arrived and tried to enter it, according to the zoo. So they're now attempting to use a raccoon-proof method to try to recapture these otters, but so far, the raccoons have thwarted them at every turn, Big J. Maybe they want to make sure their otter friends have their freedom.
Damn.
There's much more to the Mother Nature than we know exists, and perhaps they're working in tandem. Agree or disagree?
It sounds like it, yeah.
All right. So now we know it's only a matter of time, Big J, before raccoons and otters then understand that these traps are made for captivity, and they turn their powers against us. How do you defend yourself against otters, Big J?
You run like hell.
All right. You better start practicing. We'll wrap it up with Take It Easy. A Milwaukee man named Joseph Ross is in trouble. He has been charged with placing foreign objects into his coworker's drink. The victim suspected that her Coca-Cola was tampered with when she noticed that it had a weird chemical smell and definitely a bad taste. She then says that she installed a camera and captured her coworker allegedly pouring super glue into her drink, Big J. When questioned by police, Ross said that he wasn't adding super glue, merely a, quote, supplement to her drink. A search of Ross's office, however, uncovered a wadded ball of glue that apparently he was tearing off and plopping into people's drinks.
Plop!
This is extremely alarming and has elements of violence, according to the commissioner there in Wisconsin, Big J. Don't be putting stuff in other people's drinks, you guys.
Don't be doing it.
This is the second story we've had in like a couple months where coworkers are trying to poison their other people they work with by putting bleep in their drink. That's not okay. That's a crime, as a matter of fact, Big J. And it will be treated as such in this court. Do you understand?
Yes.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're officially up to date on everything. Your first chance this week to qualify for inflation domination is next on the X. 23rd, along with Nonpoint at the Knitting Factory. That's when Seether's going to be in town. That is Walls Come Down, their latest here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. And let's talk about your favorite subject, Big J, diseases.
Yeah, diseases, Nick. There's a bunch out there that wreak havoc on the world, and they're ones that maybe you don't think about because they're older, been around a while. One of those is malaria, Nick. It killed 619,000 people in 2021. That's a lot. Now, malaria is passed along by one of these critters, the mosquito, Nick. And scientists have just realized that a drug used to treat genetic conditions might actually help control mosquitoes. See, what the University of Notre Dame researchers found is that this particular drug, nitacione, makes human blood deadly to mosquitoes.
Oh.
So when mosquitoes consume blood that has you've been taking this medication, they become paralyzed and die. So therefore, you can kill off the mosquitoes that land upon your body.
Now, they'd still have to bite you, of course, to get this toxic blood in their body. So it doesn't prevent them from biting you. It just makes basically they're the last person they'll ever bite is what it boils down.
Yes, exactly. So there are a couple other medications that they're looking at that also have some negative effects on mosquitoes through their blood sucking. But that begs the question, Nick, if you would you be willing to go out and be a soldier for mosquito death?
No, I'm good. Because you essentially have to be a pincushion for this to kind of be anything that works. So no, I mean, I know you've done your share of medical trials, but this one is not something that I am. I would want to not volunteer myself to be bit by a bunch of mosquitoes. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Like I'll take that on. I'll be like Elias in his scene in Platoon. You know, all the mosquitoes all over me.
8 people listening get that reference, but yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and I would appreciate it. But listen, I'm sure if you want to, you could probably take up this particular battle if you'd like.
Man, there's one time I wish I was had all this drug seething through my body when I was a kid trying to camp along the Little Bighorn River, Nick, in Montana.
Yeah, every time I go back home to Wisconsin, I forget about what an absolute nightmare mosquitoes are.
Unless you're really close, there's only a few places here in the valley, really, where mosquitoes can get really bad, and we forget sometimes how ever present they are everywhere else on this earth.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because you live in places where if you're not around a lot of standing water or around water,
this is a very dry place.
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah.
But then you get into places where there's woods or you're camping or something. You're just like, God, man, I'm miserable.
I mean, your whole design of homes is to keep mosquitoes out. Like in Minnesota, I'm sure like Wisconsin, you got lanais.
You don't have a back porch unless there's some sort of netting around it or screen out around it so that you can protect yourself exactly from those awful mosquitoes that always find their way somehow into your area. You're absolutely right. Morning After with Nick and Big J. I bet you that'd be popular in that part of the country.
Yeah, you're right.
Coming up in a few minutes, we got your bad impressions. They're next on the X Rocks.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yep, and we got a nice Morning After prize package here for bad impressions as we have a couple shows this week at the Rev Centers. Tomorrow is Machine Head going to be there at the Rev Center. We just scored away some tickets to that. And then Wednesday, our friends in Under Oath stop on by, and they're going to hit the Rev Center. But before that, they will be here for an X session at noon. So you'll get a chance to get tickets to both of these shows and into the X session with you and a friend. If you can figure out bad impressions today, which I think might be a first. I don't know. I'll let Nick tell me if it's a first.
208-287-1003 is the number that you need to call if you'd like to play bad impressions. Big J will give you 3 clues that's supposed to point you in the direction of something, I guess, today.
A food item.
Okay. If you can figure out what food item Big J is trying to impersonate, then boom, you got yourself all set up. How he's going to impersonate a food item is really up in the air.
Yeah,
but
I don't even know how
we've got some
out.
pretty big tickets on the line, so get on the horn if you want to play, and best of luck to everybody involved so that we can get ourselves rocking and rolling. Hello, the X.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, who's this?
This is Casey.
All right, Casey, you're up first. Good luck.
Casey, this is a food item. I feel embarrassed when I say that, Nick.
You should.
I start out a cucumber, but after some fermenting, I turn into this.
A pickle.
Okay, there we go.
All right, one and
I guess
done.
that was the easy clue.
I guess definitely. Well, it's certainly
I thought
qualifies.
about going with like a gas buddy like voice for this, but I'm like, I don't want to get them confused now.
Yeah, plus you've just lifted up the curtain on guests, but you don't want to do that too much either.
Oh, that was...
What were clues 2 and 3?
I provide a good briny crunch to any sandwich or hamburger. And people are putting my flavoring on just about everything, like I was pumpkin spice or something.
And why are pickles in the news?
We're officially there, Nick. Pickle is the new pumpkin spice. And Popeyes is messing with... Now, this is a thing that some commenters have pointed out, okay? Because Popeyes released a thing that said they were coming out with pickle lemonade.
Okay.
Okay, that would be disgusting. I think we can all agree on that.
Well, people drink pickle juice, so it's not incredibly rare.
But I mean, it's, that's... The amount of people that are drinking pickle juice aren't real. I don't think that there's enough of them to suffice to a fast food restaurant to have a drink available to them.
And if you are, you're probably not going, you know what I want in this pickle juice? Sweeten it.
Yeah. However, some folks had pointed out, hey, this is awfully close to April Fool's.
Oh.
As tomorrow,
right.
people.
It is
so
tomorrow.
This is your reminder. As of now, maybe not believe anything you see. Starting today, starting this very moment.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. Good call, because the announcement was made today?
Yesterday, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it's something that might be an April Fool's. So, yeah, absolutely. Don't trust anything over the next couple
brands
days.
are setting up their thing for them to pull this off tomorrow. Don't let them do it.
Don't even trust us tomorrow. Who knows what's happening.
Because we're only going to report the stuff that we see sometimes, and it's not like we're intending to trick people.
That's right. So, be careful.
We're out of the prank days of morning radio.
Head on a swivel, everyone. You never know what's going to try to con you into believing something's a thing tomorrow. So be careful. You're right. Maybe that's fake. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you're right that pickle is everywhere.
Pickle Doritos got the pickle flavoring now.
Do you enjoy pickle flavoring on things?
I don't mind it.
Okay.
But I'm not seeking it out either.
Sure.
I'm not, it's not something like, oh, that's some pickle stuff. I got to go get that. Not everybody in my family is that way, though.
Yeah, you have a couple of people that are obsessed with it, right?
Yeah, they like the pickle stuff.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. We will wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks.
Listen up, fellow Gen.
Here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J, wrapping up the show for this Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. We certainly do appreciate it. We also appreciate all the kind of amateur detectives who sent us in theories why somebody was leaving pee in somebody else's recycle bin in Portland, Oregon. That was our We're Going to Hell story today. Congratulations to everybody that played along, got themselves qualified for Inflation Domination. 3 more keywords coming your way today throughout the day. Also, congratulations to our first qualifier for Sonic Temple. We played Last Band Standing this morning. You'll have 2 more chances today to get in on that action and have some fun, courtesy of Axio Auto. We're very excited about that. We also gave away a ton of stuff on the show today. That will continue tomorrow as we have an influx of concerts happening over the next couple of days. We're very excited about that, but it does leave you with the floor, Big J.
Nick, I'm very proud of my oldest child, Maddie, who has put in a bracket for the men's tournament at her place of work.
Nice.
She'd asked me for help, and I said, I am not much help. I won't be able to do much for you, but I can do what I can. And then she never sent me a bracket. And then she told me she had filled it out, and she did really well, actually. So it's better not to have included me. She's got a chance here to, I think, win in her whole deal, because she has got Florida as the winner.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, if you went chalk, you're probably doing great in your tournament picks. This particular,
and that's what I told her. I go chalk, and she's like, "What does that mean?" And that means all the people that are favored, pretty much.
Basically, the higher seeds have been winning this year. It's been a pretty boring tournament, and that has continued throughout March. And so, yeah, I think they're the Final Four and the Elite Eight are all a bunch of high seeded teams, and that's how it's been here as we move forward. But yeah, get excited about it. I hope she wins.
Yeah, me too.
I've got a chance if Auburn wins it all, so we'll see. We will see.
I want the Gators to win. Sorry.
You cut in on some of her winnings?
No.
Oh.
I just want her to win.
Nice. Well, it doesn't mean that you can't want more than one person to win, right? I mean, you have no skin in the game, do you?
Well, no.
Yeah. So how about a little bit of support?
I can't support you and her.
So all of a sudden you're a Gators fan out of nowhere?
Well, for her, yeah.
How dare you?
I'm a fan of my kid.
Morning After
with
with
damn about Florida.
Nick and Big J. Hey, guess what? That's the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Jason Drew's up next. We'll see you tomorrow at CX Rocks.